A woman wins $13 million after following her intuition. Someone wins the lottery for the second time. And a surreal story with a construction worker who won $66 million after having a series of dreams about it. These are the craziest lottery winner stories from all around the world. If you are new to this channel, my name is Timothy Schultz. I actually am a lottery winner myself. In 1999, I won the Powerball jackpot in the USA before going back to college to study journalism, broadcast news, and work on various productions. But now I am launching this podcast, this YouTube channel, where I'm meeting and interviewing other people that have overcome the odds in life, some of which are other lottery winners. If you want to watch any of these interviews, I will put a link to them below this video. But let's jump into this. It was recently announced in Vienne, France, that a mother and daughter just scored 13 million euros as a result of what the mother is calling an intuition. She claimed that she had this feeling that she should buy a lottery ticket on May the 4th. Despite the bad weather, she went out, she followed her gut feeling, went into a tobacco bar and purchased a ticket. That evening, she was watching the television and actually saw her numbers come up and win the lottery. She now has plans to purchase an electric bicycle and possibly a new car or computer. And with 13 million euros, I can almost guarantee that she can probably do all of those things. What an amazing story. And some people think you can never win the lottery. The odds are too stacked against you. It's awful. It's a tax on the poor. But anything is possible. I meet lottery winners on this channel all the time. And this person followed their intuition to the tune of 13 million euros. Congratulations to the lucky winners in France. Switching over to Pennsylvania, a great-grandmother just won $5 million on a scratch-off after completing her treatment for breast cancer. Donna Osborne was getting ready to take a flight, but it was delayed. Her airplane was delayed. She had just finished radiation for her breast cancer treatment, but the flight was delayed so many times that she decided to go home. But before she got home, she stopped and bought a scratch-off ticket. And while in the parking lot, she scratched it off and realized that she had just scored big to the tune of $5 million. She said, and I quote, "I could not believe my eyes. I went back into the store and said, 'Can you please check this? Is it right or wrong?' Well, the clerk said, 'It's right.'" Then she reportedly called her daughter at the airport to tell her the news, and she didn't believe her, which I find really funny because the same thing happened to me after I won. There were people that I called before it was announced publicly who just didn't believe it. But it does happen to people, and it just happened to this 75-year-old great-grandmother. Congratulations! If you think that story is crazy, just wait. You have not seen anything yet. Switching over to the U.S. state of Nebraska, where it was just announced that Lori Sailors scored a lottery prize worth $220,000. That is nearly $250,000 jackpot on a Pick 5 game. But what's so interesting about this story is that the ticket was printed by mistake. And it's not her first time, because about 5 years ago, she actually won $54,000 from another ticket that was printed by mistake. So she has now won the lottery 2 times. Both tickets were printed by mistake. She's actually quoted as saying, "I don't let mistakes go. I can't just let them sit there." She's planning on using the winnings to pay off her daughter's student loan and put the rest in the bank. Congratulations to her. She was in it to win it. Whatever strategy works for you. And apparently for this winner, her strategy that has worked for her twice now is to play tickets that were printed by mistake. Moving up to Canada, there's a recent win that is probably not a mistake. It's extraordinary. It's surreal. There's a construction worker in Canada who just scored a massive $66 million on Lotto 649. That is tax-free. From Calgary, Canada, James Schultz, who says he has known for nearly 40 years that God intended him to win a lottery jackpot. He reportedly didn't know that he would win the exact amount of $66 million, but he believed that he would win a massive, massive prize because he had a series of dreams about it back in 1986. He's quoted as saying, "I believe in God, and God showed me not in one dream, but in a series of dreams that I won the lottery. It was 4 nights in a row back in 1986. He called it very surreal and said that it would take a while for it to sink in. And I empathize with this story so much because, as many of you know, I had a dream about winning the lottery that was very, very vivid. I've talked a lot about it publicly on this YouTube channel, but it was extremely vivid. It was extremely real. I woke up and it took a little while to understand that it hadn't already happened. It was that real. And so I love hearing about stories where this happens to other people because it happens all the time. And I meet and interview people, of course, on this channel that have had similar experiences. It doesn't happen to everybody, but it does happen to people all the time. And apparently this just happened to James Schultz up in Canada. He said that he now plans to help family members financially and other people with a massive windfall because, and I quote, "I'm not a greedy person. I like to share." Apparently, after he won, he took the ticket up to the counter and showed it to the clerk, and his eyes went buggy. Those were his words, not mine. His eyes went buggy, which I find very interesting because it does make people really, really crazy. I mean, think about it. If you have a piece of paper worth tens of millions of dollars, I mean, that is a lot of power in a little piece of paper. He also mentioned that winning this massive jackpot is not going to change him, but that some people are going to have a very different attitude towards him, which I found very, very interesting that he believes that, because I found that was the case for me with some people, not with everybody. With some people that knew me beforehand, before I won the lottery, they treated me pretty much the same, and they were just very happy, and they made a point to say, look, I don't want any of your money. I just hope that it doesn't change you as a person. You're a great, and they were very supportive, and I'm so unbelievably grateful, even to this day, to those people. But of course, it does change the way that some people perceive you. So if you win the lottery tomorrow, tens of millions, depending on who you are and who's around you and where you live and all these factors, depending on all these things, more than likely for a lot of people anyway, people do look at you differently. Some people do. A lot of people do, arguably. There were times, especially right after I won, where I literally felt like a walking, talking ATM machine. I received stacks of letters from people asking for money, and I really felt like people were looking at me like I was an ATM machine or Mr. Moneybags. Especially new people that didn't know me beforehand. I felt that they viewed me more as this thing, that I had won the lottery and that defined me. But regardless of that, this person's story in Canada, this very lucky winner who had a dream about it, several dreams before it happened, is incredible. I love it. I love it. I love it. Congratulations to him. And it also goes to show you that with some of these lottery dreams that come true, there are people that have dreamt about it and won the next day. There are people like myself, it took right around 3 months. And this person, it was nearly 4 decades. But all the while, he believed that it was going to happen. He believes in God, and he just believed that it was going to happen one day, and then it did. So it's extremely fascinating. If you think that is just a coincidence when somebody dreams about it and then it happens in real life, that's okay with me. I'm not here to convince you of anything, but I find these stories extremely interesting because they do happen all the time. Not only about the lottery, but about all kinds of things. People dream about it, and then it happens in real life. What do you think about this? What do you think about dreaming about something before it happens in real life? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below this video. And what do you think about these lottery winner stories? I love checking out your comments. If you like this video, let me and YouTube's algorithm know by smashing the like button. If you play the lottery, remember to play responsibly. Never, ever spend more than you can afford to lose, but also know that you do have a chance if you play. Get notified when new videos and podcast interviews are released on this channel by subscribing, hitting the bell icon, and enabling all notifications. Remember, anything and everything is possible. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support.